Chicago remains a city on lockdown. Many of the shops in the main downtown retail district are boarded up. A return to normalcy appears some way off. But here and across the U.S., debate is heating up as to when the economy can reopen. The governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, suggests there will be some kind of relaxing to the stay-at-home order. But he does not favor a full opening up of the economy just yet.
It is true that it is working, and so to pull it off, a stay-at-home order, it seems to me, to remove it, as I see some other governors may want to do, to remove it entirely is to simply open everything back up to infection. We have bent the curve because we have had a stay-at-home order.
Recent demonstrations in Michigan calling for the economy to reopen underlines the frustration among some sections of the population. President Trump appeared to show his support for protesters in a series of tweets calling for action to liberate states.
It's not a difference of opinion. It's more of a tug of war for who's going to get blamed for this thing.
John Austin is the director of the Michigan Economic Center.
We have an economy that is particularly damaged by this kind of pandemic-induced recession. So if we open up too early, and we have to go back into shutting down, we're going to have an even, compounded impact on the economic detriment and livelihoods and jobs in this region.
Governors from 7 Midwest states recently announced they would work together to coordinate the phased reopening of their economies. The hope is that by working in tandem as a region, they'll have a greater chance of success.
Ought to have strong central national government leadership.
Anne-Marie Slaughter is the former director of policy planning for the U.S. State Department. She took part in a recent Chicago Council on Global Affairs discussion. She says for economies to fully open up, more testing is required.
Most important is a massive ramp up in testing. Right now, we are using testing to figure out who is sick and needs to be treated, right? So we're using it for disease surveillance, but we're not using it to actually block the virus.
There is much on the line when governors begin the process of reopening their economies. The economic cost has already been high, but the threat and fear of a second wave of infection and a potentially longer lockdown also weighs heavy. Dan Williams, CGTN, Chicago.